Among the most influential thinkers of the 20th century, Jacques Derrida occupies a unique place. His ideas transformed literary criticism, philosophy, linguistics, cultural studies, law, and even architecture. Although Derrida's writings are often considered difficult, his central concern was surprisingly simple. He wanted to understand how language creates meaning and why meaning is never as stable as we often assume. Derrida is best known for developing the theory of deconstruction, a method of reading texts that reveals hidden contradictions, ambiguities, and assumptions. His work challenged traditional ways of understanding language and literature, making him one of the key figures of postmodernism and post-structuralism. Jacques Derrida was born on July 15, 1930, in Elbiar, which was then a French colony. He came from a Jewish family and experienced discrimination during his childhood because of anti-Jewish policies. These experiences of exclusion and marginalization later influenced his philosophical thinking about identity, difference, and power. Derrida moved to Paris to pursue higher education. He studied at the prestigious École Normale Supérieure, where he developed an interest in philosophy, literature, and linguistics. He was influenced by philosophers such as Plato, Aristotle, Friedrich Nietzsche, Martin Heidegger, Edmund Husserl, Sigmund Freud, Ferdinand de Saussure. These thinkers provided the foundation upon which Derrida built his revolutionary ideas. To understand Derrida, students must first understand structuralism. Structuralism emerged from the linguistic theories of Ferdinand de Saussure. According to Saussure, 1. Language is a system of signs. 2. Meaning comes from differences between signs. 3. Words do not have meaning by themselves. For example, day means what it does because it is different from night. Good gains meaning because it is different from bad. Structuralists believed that these linguistic structures provide stable meaning. Derrida agreed with many aspects of structuralism, but challenged its belief in stability. Deconstruction is Derrida's most famous concept. Many students mistakenly believe that deconstruction means destroying a text. This is incorrect. Deconstruction is not destruction. Instead, it is a method of carefully reading a text to reveal contradictions, ambiguities, multiple meanings, hidden assumptions. According to Derrida, every text contains tensions that undermine its own apparent meaning. Example: suppose a text claims, "Reason is superior to emotion." A deconstructive reading would ask, how is reason defined? Does the text itself rely on emotional language? Can reason exist without emotion? Such questions reveal complexities hidden beneath the surface. Derrida argued that Western philosophy often depends on binary oppositions. Examples include binary opposition, privileged term, speech, writing speech, man, woman, man, reason, emotion, reason, presence, absence, presence, truth, error, truth. Traditionally, one side of the pair is considered superior. Derrida challenged this hierarchy. He argued that the supposedly inferior term is often necessary for the superior term to exist. For instance, we understand presence only because absence exists. We understand good because evil exists. Thus, neither term is completely independent. One of Derrida's most important criticisms concerns logocentrism. Logocentrism refers to the Western belief that there is a fixed center of meaning or truth. Throughout history, people have treated various concepts as ultimate centers: God, reason, truth, consciousness, reality. Derrida argued that such centers are unstable. Every attempt to establish an absolute truth depends on language, and language itself is unstable. Therefore, certainty is always questionable. Perhaps Derrida's most famous and difficult idea is différance. The term is deliberately spelled differently from the French word différence. Différance combines two meanings. 1. Difference: words gain meaning because they differ from other words. For example, cat, dog, light, dark. 2. Deferral. Meaning is always postponed. When we define one word, we use other words. For example, tree equals a plant. Plant equals a living organism. Organism equals a biological entity. The search for meaning never reaches a final point. Meaning is always deferred. Therefore, complete certainty is impossible. Traditionally, philosophers believed speech is primary, writing is secondary. Speech was considered closer to thought. Derrida challenged this assumption in his influential book of Grammatology. He argued, writing is not inferior to speech. Both depend on signs. Both involve interpretation. Thus, the hierarchy between speech and writing collapses. Derrida introduced the concept of the trace. Every word carries traces of other words. For example, the word light carries traces of darkness, night, shadow. Because meaning arises through differences, every sign contains echoes of what it is not. No word possesses complete self-contained meaning. This is Derrida's most famous work. Major themes: writing and language structuralism, meaning deconstruction. The book introduced many of the concepts for which Derrida became famous. This collection of essays explores literature, philosophy, psychoanalysis, structuralism. It helped establish Derrida as a major intellectual figure. This work critiques the philosophy of Edmund Husserl and examines the relationship between speech, consciousness, and meaning. This text demonstrates how language constantly produces multiple meanings that cannot be fully controlled. Derrida had a profound influence on literary studies. Traditional critics often searched for authorial intention, stable meaning, clear interpretation. Derrida challenged these goals. According to him, texts are open-ended, meanings multiply, interpretation never ends. This does not mean that anything goes. Instead, it means that texts contain more possibilities than a single interpretation can capture. Example of deconstructive reading. Consider Shakespeare's Hamlet. Traditional interpretation. Hamlet delays revenge because he is indecisive. A deconstructive reading might ask, what is action? What is delay? Does Hamlet's thinking itself become a form of action? Does the play undermine the distinction between thought and action? Such questions reveal tensions within the text. Derrida's work has faced several criticisms. 1. Excessive complexity. Many readers find his writing difficult. His style often uses wordplay and philosophical terminology. 2. Relativism. Some critics argue that deconstruction makes truth impossible. Derrida denied this accusation and insisted that he was exploring complexity rather than rejecting truth. 3. Lack of practicality. Some scholars believe deconstruction offers criticism without providing solutions. Despite these objections, Derrida remains one of the most cited thinkers in the humanities. Derrida's influence extends beyond literature. His ideas affected literary theory, philosophy, cultural studies, gender studies, legal studies, architecture. Many contemporary theories of identity, language, and power owe something to Derrida's work. Jacques Derrida, "There is nothing outside the text." This famous statement does not mean reality does not exist. Rather, it means that we access reality through language and interpretation. Jacques Derrida. Every text is a machine with multiple reading heads. This reflects his belief that texts generate many meanings. Jacques Derrida revolutionized the study of language, literature, and philosophy. Through his theory of deconstruction, he challenged the assumption that texts possess a single, fixed meaning. By examining binary oppositions, logocentrism, difference, and the instability of language, Derrida showed that meaning is always complex, dynamic, and open to reinterpretation. For literature students, Derrida is important because he teaches us to read carefully, question assumptions, and recognize the richness of language. Whether one agrees with his ideas or not, his work transformed modern literary criticism and continues to influence scholars around the world. In the history of literary theory, Derrida stands alongside figures such as Ferdinand de Saussure, Roland Barthes, Michel Foucault, and Jacques Lacan as one of the key architects of contemporary critical thought. His central lesson remains powerful. Meaning is never as simple, stable, or final as it first appears.